How you can finally get lean in 2025. If you're stuck somewhere between 20 and 30% body fat, and no matter what you do, you feel like you're not making progress, I've got you covered. I'm gonna walk you through the step-by-step process on how to tweak your calories, adjust your cardio, and generally break through your fat loss plateau. If you're new here, my name is Adam. I'm a performance nutritionist, personal trainer, and online coach. In my 20s, I lost over 80 pounds of fat and kept it off. I have made every possible mistake there is to make so you don't have to. For the last decade, I have helped men and women like you lose fat and build muscle. Let's get straight into it. First, let's create a scenario to provide you some more context and hopefully make it easier to apply. Let's say Tom is 200 pounds and 20% body fat. Tom spends 4 to 6 hours a week training. He's eating 2,000 calories a day, which puts him in a 20% calorie deficit. His goal is to get to 15% body fat. He was losing weight, now he feels stuck. There could be several reasons why Tom is stuck, but let's just say he is strength training, tracking his calories consistently, and getting in enough protein. There are two important things to remember going into this. Less fat equals more resistance. The leaner you are, the less fat you have to lose. He has 5% to lose, and that's give or take 10 pounds of scale weight. I always suggest targeting 0.5 to 1% of your body weight lost per week. At this stage, it will be closer to 0.5%. That's an average of 1 pound a week. So we do expect it to take longer. You also burn less calories, you weigh less, so you burn fewer calories just existing. Plus, you subconsciously move less NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Have you ever noticed that you fidget more and you just move more when you're full of energy? Now you actually have less energy, you'll likely fidget less and just move less in general, which may not sound like much, but it does add up. At 2,000 calories, you shouldn't in theory need to cut more to get to 15% body fat. That's a deep enough deficit to get to 15% body fat. People will panic and cut more food. That will just reduce energy and further decrease your ability to actually continue and just stay consistent. So dropping calories further should be his last resort. Here's what I suggest instead. Add in a diet break. If you've been dieting a while, you could feel depleted physically and mentally. So that's spending a week at maintenance calories. This will give you more than enough energy to improve your training and sleep better. It's also a nice mental break. If you really want to get the most out of this, I would suggest just increasing the carbs and keeping fat and protein the same. But either way, just eating more calories is good enough. Move more before eating less. I'm a huge fan of increasing activity instead of slashing calories. Here's how. Get a treadmill for your living room. Walk while you're catching up on your favorite Netflix show or maybe some emails. Use a treadmill desk or like a walk pad. While you may find this strange to begin with, but you can talk on the phone, like have meetings, like obviously less important ones, while you're walking, get in steps and burn more calories. Any client of mine that has a desk treadmill or walk pad never struggles with steps. You could add in another 15-minute walk after meals. It's great for digestion and it helps you increase your steps. If you're doing under 12,000 steps a day, this is usually feasible. Notice how I suggest walking for cardio, mainly because it's low impact and won't increase fatigue. If you really struggle because of time, you could throw in 2 to 3 30-minute low to moderate intensity cardio sessions a week on a bike or on a rowing machine. So here's the thing about the scale. It's a bit of a liar at times, especially if you're not weighing in at least 3 times a week and taking the average. An app like Happy Scale can help you do that, so you'll be able to notice trends rather than just daily fluctuations. But at this point, small things like water retention, hormones, or even sore muscles can hide fat loss. Here are some non-scale measures that you're likely to see a shift in before your weight. Visual changes, like if you take photos every 2 to 4 weeks in the same lighting and the conditions, compare them. If you're seeing noticeable changes, you're likely losing fat and the scale will follow over time. Measurements too, track your waist or hips every 2 weeks. If your waist is going down, that's a sign you're losing fat, and it's a matter of time before the scale plays ball again. Remember to standardize these measurements the same spot at the same time. Clothes can also start to fit differently, especially your jeans or your trousers. If your belt is a notch tighter, All these small changes add up over time and will help keep you motivated enough to keep going. I just wanted to remind you that I'm still running my 30-day free challenge where you can lose 8 pounds of fat in the next 30 days. Each of those 30 days, you'll receive an email by me on what to do. Head on over to the description to get started today. If you're not seeing any progress, no scale drop, no visual changes, no measurement changes, after 14 days, it's time to make some tweaks. If you have been consistently doing everything to the best of your ability, this is likely actually a plateau. The amount of times I've seen clients get frustrated after a week with no noticeable progress and suddenly something moves. Too many people jump to the conclusion they've hit a plateau, but it's not always the case. They start making adjustments and throw themselves right off track. Losing 1 pound a week on average may not seem like much, but at this stage, it's what I would expect and what you should expect too. As we went over earlier, if you've actually hit a plateau, there are 2 tweaks you can make. Cut calories by a further 5%. So in Tom's case, 1,900 will be his new calorie target. So here's a recap on screen. If you've actually hit a plateau, add in a diet break or some more cardio, track progress beyond the scale, visuals, measurements, how clothes fit. Adjust after 14 days of no progress. Be patient. Of course, going from 20% body fat to 15% body fat is a challenge, but you'll see a big difference in the way you look and also the way you feel. You will have less body fat and you'll be seeing some of your abs. So that's all for this video and for 2024. I really appreciate every single one of you. The channel is growing, which is very exciting. If I could ask one favor, that is, if you found this video useful, consider sharing it with a friend, family member, or co-worker. And if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe for future videos. I wish you the healthiest and happiest New Year possible. Have the best day ever, and we'll talk soon.